Today I came across a really game-breaking bug that happened on Tarkov and Tarkov PVE mode in particular, but I don't know whether this is a thing that is in the PvP, but it absolutely completely ruined my one raid. And so I wanted to highlight it to both you and of course to BSG themselves as to what exactly happened and what was the result, because this definitely shouldn't happen. And with that being said, essentially I loaded into a typical Lighthouse raid. I have played countless raids on Lighthouse with absolutely no issues whatsoever. However, I did one thing that I usually don't do on Lighthouse, which is essentially going in, and from the beginning there were two PMCs. Now these two PMCs, I don't know what they were doing, but I needed some headshots to be able to complete Shooter Born in Heaven, and we managed to take out the two PMCs. These PMCs were just running into a building, which I thought was weird in the first place. They were literally like stuck on something and couldn't move by the looks of things. So I was like, okay, alright then. Well, I'll take them out anyway, and then we can move on with my raid, and hopefully we'll extract. Obviously, it's just the AI being a big problem, or just having a bug or something like that. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So we took these guys out. Then I went down there, I looted them up, I did what you usually do, grabbed out their dog tags, and then this is what probably caused the issue. And I don't know why exactly this was, whether it was related to what happened with the AI, where they seemed stuck in the mud. But essentially what happened is I threw up I used a flare, and then the airdrop came in, airdrop slowly creeped in, and then I was just waiting there, waiting for the airdrop. It comes in, we'd start checking it, we're searching it, and then we're kind of just looting out the bits that we need from the airdrop, and then I go to leave the airdrop. Okay, absolutely fine, no problems. And then I was like, nah, you know what, there's probably something else in that airdrop, let's just double check it again. So I go to the airdrop, check in the airdrop, and then I try and back out. And nothing happens. And I'm like, okay, I can't back out of the airdrop. Don't quite know what is going on here. And so I backed out of the airdrop, and then no gun. Just my hands pointing in the direction of where my gun is. And I was like, okay, this is very weird. And then I was getting the head bobble, but my hands and stuff weren't moving. They were in one singular plane as if I was stationary, but everything, my head and my camera was moving around. And so I was like, what the hell? I literally didn't understand what was going on. And then I went back to the airdrop. I was trying to open it up, but I couldn't open up the airdrop. I then pressed escape, and we go back to like the normal screen. And then I try and resume my raid, hoping that maybe because if I back out, something will kind of pop up and we can play the game again. And no, it actually goes to the airdrop screen. And then I click X on the airdrop and it starts spamming me with the opening of the airdrop just constantly. And I was like, this is weird. So I was like, okay, right, I'm just going to try and exit the raid. We want to get out. This is obviously a bug. It's an issue. Something's going on. And of course, BSG should probably fix it. But either way, we're going to have to deal with it and just go to the extract. So the nearest one obviously being quite close. So just start making my way there. And then, because I was in a Discord call, someone was like, why didn't you lie down? So I did as any sane person would do, maybe trying to reset it or whatever. So I lied down, and then I tried to get up and nothing happened. I was stuck on the floor with all my gear and all of my stuff. So I was like, okay, this is very weird. Now I can't move. I can't even turn my camera. Nothing is happening. The raid is still going on, and everything, you can hear the audio. Everything's moving around. You can see like with the water moving and grass moving and stuff like that. So the raid is still live. I am just now trapped in this bug, and from what I could try and do, I was button mashing. I was trying to figure out if there's any way for me to get up off of the floor. Trying to open up the inventory, nothing happening. And so I was like, okay, right, well, this sucks because I've either got to wait here until the raid ends, which I'm not sitting around for 35 minutes, or I've got to Alt F4, which means I lose all of the progress, especially towards my task, which was just to take out two PMCs for Shooter Born in Heaven. I mean, not a particularly difficult task, but I just wanted it done. I'd already completed it basically. Whether I'd count it anyway because the AI seemed to have maybe the same issue. Not entirely sure. But yeah, that really kind of sucked. So I ended up just exiting the raid because I'm not going to sit there for 35 minutes waiting for nothing to happen. And then to only realize that, oh yeah, by the way, the raid didn't end and for some reason you've lost everything or something like that. We can't even drop my gear, which would have meant that I would have lost it because I go missing in action as opposed to losing my gear, which is much worse. So I wanted my gear. I didn't want to lose it to some Tarkov bug that BSG for some reason have in the game. And of course, I'm not particularly too salty. Bugs do happen. Weird things like this do happen. I'm sure it's because we opened it in a weird location and maybe it wasn't supposed to be there and some kind of spaghetti code has ended up coming up and for some reason now we don't have a gun and we can't move. But you know, some things do happen. I'll give them credit for that, but hopefully BSG will fix this because it literally ruined that raid and I would have lost everything if I just left. And there was no way to reconnect. Even if I disconnect, I can't then reconnect back in. So because it's PVE, it really did suck. So just wanted to show you a really weird bug, and if you have any other bugs or anything like that, let me know and maybe we'll showcase them in a video because I'm sure there's some out there, but hopefully you at least avoid this one. I'd avoid using an airdrop in the top of Lighthouse ever again and try and do it somewhere else because apparently it just doesn't work right now. I'm sure BSG will come along and figure out what actually happened with this. I'll try and kind of throw it over to Tarkov themselves and see if they actually recognize it or anything like that, or maybe it's already been patched. I don't know, but this was definitely an issue and a really annoying one at that, especially if, for example, you done a full raid, you've gone to the military base, you were then just like, oh, I'm gonna go and extract, or oh, I found myself a red flare, let's use it, and then suddenly you can't move, you can't do anything, and you have to leave the game or lose all of your gear anyway, which is basically worse than just Alt F4ing, which in PvE doesn't actually count anyway. So I thought I'd showcase it here today, and hopefully at least you get a glimpse of what it's like to probably play way too much Tarkov and encounter some of the weird bugs that do come out. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.